welcome back to the channel. And on my Instagram a few weeks ago, I told people to post questions that I wanted to answer, very deep and complicated questions that people had. So I'll just get straight into them. I've got them on my phone here, so let's read some out. I'm not going to mention people's names, by the way, just in case. I don't want anyone to get into trouble or whatever, or people to be asked questions. But this first question is, are you jealous of other YouTubers that you think are doing better than you, even though you feel like your content is better? Especially in fashion, I feel like your content has more substance and is better, but I don't feel like you get the recognition you deserve. See, now, with this, with statements like this, honestly, it's complicated because, like I said, I had another channel for 2 years, then I made this one, and it's doing okay. It's doing better than my old channel by far, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not I'm not gonna say, oh, it's doing so sick. That would be how quickly other channels grow. But on YouTube, if you compare yourself to others, you're gonna have issues. Secondly, I haven't been as consistent. So one thing about YouTube that people need to understand, and that I've finally understood being on YouTube for quite a bit, is if you're not consistent on YouTube, I don't care how good your content is, it's just not gonna grow. And for most of my time on YouTube, I've not been consistent. I'll post one video, leave it for a month, then post 5 in 1 week, and then I'm just not consistent, so I can't really complain. I've come to grips with it, and honestly, with all the editing I've done, I've not earned a penny on YouTube. I've literally made over 100 videos, and I feel like it might take me around 200 videos before I start earning any money on YouTube. So I have a respect for anyone that just edits videos all the time, posts every week, to be honest. So I can't really hate on any YouTuber, anyone bigger than me. Just can't hate. They're doing their thing. Most of them have even been on YouTube way longer than 3 years, so longer than me. And the ones that haven't, I don't know, Magnus Running or whatever. Yeah, this is another point I like to bring across. Me making a fashion channel on YouTube, the thing is, I didn't have any connections with the fashion industry. I wasn't doing something Magnus Running, for example. I've seen so many people get pissed off that I've had my channel for so and so, Magnus Running just came in and whatever, and I'm just laughing because I'm like, yo, this guy has been working. I don't know if he's in the basement or not. I don't really follow that side of fashion much, but I think he was in the basement. I think he was around the basement. Now, basement's a big group, first of all. And secondly, he must have been grinding, working, networking to even get to know those people. And then he made a YouTube channel, and then it got quicker than most channels because of that. But instead of complaining that he got big on YouTube, because you're just thinking of it in terms of YouTube, time. You're not thinking of it in terms of where he has been grinding elsewhere. Then he was like, oh, let me make a YouTube channel, and then all the people that knew him from when he was grinding in that sphere then followed him. So when you think about me, for example, I'm starting from scratch on YouTube. He didn't start from scratch on YouTube. He started from scratch doing whatever he's doing, brought all that traffic to YouTube. So, man, all this hate on Magnus Running, especially, I had to bring his name up because it's him especially. People don't say that about, I don't know, Kofi, because Kofi used to vlog every day, for example. So it's just Magnus, there's just something about Magnus Running that everyone's always saying, oh, he grew fast. That's what other YouTubers saying. It's just man, I can't hate on anyone, honestly, even Blazendary. And I'm genuinely not saying this because I want to collab with some other YouTuber. I'm trying to be nice to other YouTubers. Nah, I just don't do that. Even I comment on everyone's videos, and sometimes it's mean stuff. Never stupidly mean, but constructive criticism, essentially. So I'm never one to just talk rubbish or bullshit anyone. Like, genuinely, I don't hate on anyone. Even Blazendary, I don't respect his fashion opinion, but I respect him grinding on YouTube, being on YouTube for so long, posting out content, always thinking of what the next content is to post. It's tough, man. It's tough. Anyone try, edit 100 videos, have sleepless nights, make 100 videos and not earn a penny for it. Like, it is tough. Like, when he it's hard work, man. I'm not even gonna get into it, but yeah, that's basically the answer to that question. So this person asked, so what's your opinion of people who say, then this is in quotations, fuck people who wear dash because the designer has charges for sexual harassment, etc. Yet they wear basics which are most likely made unethically in sweatshops, like Vlone for example. I just feel like people who care about the ethics of a brand or designer miss their creative vision. However, if someone like Raf has used sweatshops, they wouldn't bat an eye over the matter. Yeah, that's so true. A lot of times in fashion, people aren't consistent. A lot of people are hypocrites. I've seen that so many times. People that wear Vlone, people are like, oh, how can you wear Vlone when ASAP Bari is a rapist and so stuff like that. It's like, okay, how can you wear H&M? How can you wear Primark when they use sweatshops in third world countries and people actually die? The living conditions are so bad. Literally factories collapse. People die. Like, it's serious. People die. Like, and we're talking more than one person die. We're talking like people in the masses die. People in the masses have permanent health effects, like permanent health implications. And it's just like, man, people need to be consistent. Like, before you open your mouth and tell someone that's wearing Vlone, oh, how can you wear Vlone, you're a rapist, you better not own any top man, H&M, Zara, or you're just going to be a hypocrite and your argument makes no sense. That's such a good question, such a good statement, because it's so true. A lot of people do it in fashion. How can you this, how can you that? And they're doing the exact same thing. I think it's just a human thing. Like, people are quick to look at the wrong or what they deem as wrong that other people are doing, but then not look at themselves. And then another thing about Vlone is, man, the designs are nice. Like, I like the Vlone Air Force Ones. I'm not gonna let, because something happened with someone, affect how I feel about the designs. I can separate the two things. This goes into like Kanye West brand. I love the Yeezy brand. I don't like the more mainstream stuff like the Yeezy 350s and stuff, but I do like the fashion side of it, like the Yeezy Season, the military boots and the combat boots. I think are amazing, and I might get a pair this winter actually. And I can separate that because people are like, oh, Kanye's crazy, he said this, he said that. It's like, you have to learn to separate political opinion with, or things that happen that don't really relate to something, and then the brand itself. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Now I've got one last question, and this says, what are your thoughts about masculinity in fashion? Oh, this was actually, I think because I was talking about this the whole day when I asked people to send me questions, and this was on High Fashion Talk. They actually had a post and they were asking about toxic masculinity in fashion. And I think saying toxic masculinity, I think people like to bring up these words and make things a bit deeper than they are. But essentially saying that people get shamed for being feminine in fashion, and I don't think that's the case. I think fashion is one of those industries which is very rare in like the climate of the world right now, where if you're more feminine, that's more actually accepted in fashion. For example, me, I'm not trying to say I'm this or that, but like I'm a very like manly person. It's not because society, or I'm a very masculine person, not because society has made me, has said I should be masculine, I'm contributing with society, and I should be free in quotation marks, but this is how I naturally am. I play basketball like I've always played sports. Yeah, this is how I naturally am. Some people are naturally more feminine. Like, no one should be shamed for whatever they are. I feel like in fashion, when people find out I'm in fashion, they look at me, they're like, what? 6'2" basketball player, black guy into fashion. What is that? They just can't compute it, because most people in fashion are very feminine, very queer, which is completely fine. But actually, I think it's the flip side. I think if there's any type of toxic masculinity, it's more the other way around, where if you're more masculine, it's almost frowned upon. It's like people who are masculine, they look at you like, why are you being so masculine? Like, now this is the fashion thing, or you can be yourself. But some people, them being themselves is actually just being serious and masculine, aka me, and a lot of other people actually. So yeah, those are the answers to my question. I want to do more Q&As actually. Hopefully, if my channel grows, I can just do live streams and then people can just ask loads of questions. I would do a live stream now, but I'm not sure how many people would actually tune in. So comment down below if you'd actually want to see a live stream, and maybe I'll get some of them done. But I'll have to like figure out the time that will be best. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm out.